Hello, good afternoon, Seasonal Vantage Insiders. This is Alex from MarketWise Asia, and today's date it is 23rd of October 2023. As usual, the usual Monday afternoon here. As I'm recording this, the time is at about 2:26 p.m. over here. So, thank you first of all. Thank you so much for those who came. Okay, at the Summit Booster during last Thursday event over here, the in-person event. Okay, I think when I asked how many were actually seasonal Vantage insiders, a few actually, some of you actually raised up a hand. And for example, thank you so much. Like for example, Emily and Mary who came and said hi to me. I'm very happy, to see you guys in person at that event over here. Okay, so I will share some of the content that I shared during the session. Okay, some of the trade ideas over there. Okay, but first of all, as usual, disclaimer first, whatever I share in this video is just for education purpose, not a recommendation to tell you what to buy or what to sell. So let's kickstart this session right now. Okay, so of course, the week hasn't been very kind to the indices. Okay, so market has been coming down over here. Okay, even though I kind of expected the market to have some correction. Okay, but not so severe. So at this moment in time, okay, the market sentiment, it is actually pretty bearish based on what I observe and sense in the Twitter. Okay, so let's go through the market right now. So as of doing this video, the chart right now, it is the S&P 500 over here. Okay, so as usual, the green dotted lines here are the central pivot range over here, right? So you can see over here, right? In fact, when I last did my public Facebook Live, okay, I think about 2 weeks ago, right? I mentioned that the market will face some resistance level at the central pivot range, this green dotted line, which is the pivot point over here. Okay, so true enough, okay, the market actually hit the central pivot range, okay, and then ping pong over here, okay, and then struggling to hit higher because this is the overall resistance area, right? So I was expecting, in fact, price to actually, have a slight correction before moving back higher again. But the market actually did the reverse, okay? So, this is what the market is like, okay? Always expect the unexpected. So the market, in fact, had a nasty, sell-off here. You can see that, for the past 3 trading session, okay, it was quite a huge bar. On Wednesday, it was down 1.35. On Thursday, it was down about 0.9%, near 1%. On Friday, it was down about 1.27%. So almost like average about down 1% for the past 3 days or so. And for the Nasdaq, okay, all right, so hit the cloud level over here and then came back down again. I was expecting once price hit the cloud resistance level, came back down to the resistance to the support level at central pivot range, and then maybe have a bounce up, but it didn't. So price came down again. Okay, so all in all, the market was pretty bearish for the past week or so. And okay, of course, the $1,000,000 question is that, Alex, will the market continue to go down lower? Okay, but the answer is, okay, I don't know. But all in all, okay, I am still, okay, having the prospect of, the market will start to go up higher at the end of the month or towards the start of November. Okay, but we still need to see the price action. Okay, but of course, if you are just looking at the price action wise, okay, market is indeed not looking good. First of all, okay, it is below the cloud, okay, and below the central pivot range, and right now, okay, definitely bearish based on the short term. The Nasdaq, it is the same as well. Okay, and for the Russell 2000, which is the small caps, right, we have already broken below the low of the swing low over here in October. Okay, so things are not looking good based on the short term basis over here. But okay, if you look at some of the how the market does in pre-election year, which I think I mentioned I think a few times before, as in before my break, okay, for the past 2 weeks, right? So market has been choppy. Market has been choppy, okay. So from August to October, okay, this is what the pre-election look like. So if the market really do bottom out, okay, it should be somewhere near end of October to somewhere at the start of November or so before the market continue to head higher. Okay, do expect some choppiness, okay, during the pre-election year. And this is another chart over here by another guy over here by NDR. So this is the dotted line is what the market has been doing in this year, and the blue line, okay, it is the composite chart, okay, and it plays equal weight on the seasonal 1-year cycle, for the 4-year presidential cycle, and the 10-year decennial cycle over here. So averagely what the market's been doing like for the past to not many years lah. So you can see that, you know, if the market really, you know, do bottom out, it will be somewhere around the October to November, somewhere around here, like before the market continue to hit high for the rest of the year. Of course, you know, short-term wise, market is bearish, but okay, but so far the ones that we have been working on, some of the stocks, right, are still relatively okay based on seasonal. Okay, all right. So that will go through with you guys over here, and just to go through with you what I mentioned during the summit booster over here, right? So during the summit booster, I mentioned about this stock seasonality on the stock charts over here. There's this thing called the relative. So we are comparing, for example, right? I mentioned during the event, so for example, like the XLF. Okay, XLF, this is the financial sector compared to the SPY. So you're comparing relatively to the index. Okay, so you can see that, you know, we'll just drag it to for the past 10 years. Okay, so you can see that generally, okay, for the past 10 years, the financial sector tends to outperform the S&P 500, okay, in October and in November. So can you see that, you know, 80%, which means that out of the past 10 years from 2013 to 2022, 8 years it outperformed the S&P 500, okay, in October and in November. So, okay, if you're looking to still to go long, okay, XLF, okay, is a good sector to focus on. For the past 10 years, you know, October, November has been a pretty good month for the financial sector. So for example, like generally, you know, when I see that the industrial sector, I mentioned a few times already, industrial sector is also, I think it's not too bad for the past 10 years or so. Okay, let's go for the past 10 years. Okay, can you see that, you know, this is the XLI, the industrial sector, compare relative to the S&P 500. Can you see that, you know, in November, it tends to outperform the S&P 500, okay, for the past 9 years. Of the past 10 years, 9 years, it outperformed the S&P 500 in November. So all in all, okay, I'm still, you know, focusing on the financial, the industrial, which I have been focusing on for the past 1 or 2 weeks. Industrial, I think I have been focusing for the past 2 or 3 weeks already. Okay, for the financial stock, sectors, I started to look at it, okay, since last week or so. Okay, so if you look at the RG chart over here, the relative rotation over here, okay, so this is again based on day time frame. You can see that, you know, the financial sector has started to go up a little bit higher. Staple, which I've been focusing on, has been going up higher also. Okay, industrial, no change. Okay, it's still improving. XLK, it has been, you know, coming down a little bit, but it is still leading the market. Comms has been coming down already. Health, still weakening and lagging also. All right, so I'm still all in all, I'm still focusing on the key indices, as in the key sectors that I have been mentioning, like the industrial, the financial, okay, and the stable. XLU, I'm not so keen, but I mean, we still can look at it based on the sectors. You know, it has been, you know, outperforming the S&P 500 for the past week or so. You know, is in the leading, in the improving sector, performing very well now. Okay, so let's head back to the data that we are looking at right now. Okay, so this is the data over here. So last week I mentioned about the ETF, right? So this was the last week data over here from the 15th to 22nd. So during last week, I mentioned a few key ETF that I was looking at. For example, like the IYK, the consumer goods, which is essentially, okay, I mentioned it's the consumer staple, which is the XLP over here. And I also mentioned about XRT, okay, and such and healthcare, okay, and such. But so personally, I entered into XLP, okay. Instead of going to IYK, I also entered into XRT over here. Okay, so these are the two positions that I entered, okay. Even though the market is coming down, but these two ETF has been holding their ground still pretty okay, even though I'm still underwater right now. So for example, like the XLP, okay, which I mentioned last week, right? This was the wash and rinse setup over here I mentioned, right? So if price can stay above 56.65 over here. So I entered on this bar over here on Monday over here, This was the one over here. Okay. So it went up a little bit higher, okay, and then came back down. So I'm still in a slight profit, okay. So we'll see how the market goes tonight. So the consumer staple holding on pretty well, okay. And then for the XRT, which I mentioned also in the last week's session, okay. So this was Monday. So Monday it had a burst up over here, which I mentioned, price must stay above 59.53, above the wash and rinse line over here. So I entered over there. Price, in fact, went higher on Tuesday. It was up about 1.73%. At the peak, it was somewhere around 2% plus. But it's not surprising because price has hit the central pivot range and then price came back down again. My stop is somewhere around the low of this swing low over here. Okay, so this is slightly underwater right now. So these are still the two positions that I'm still holding. Okay. So I enter XRT and XLP and I am still holding it. Okay. Looking at back to the market right now. Okay. So this is the S&P 500. This is the futures chart. All in all, okay, I am expecting, price, there's a high chance that price could test the low over here. Okay, the low over here. This is the swing low over here. This is the swing low over here. All right, it's very close to that. So there's a lot of, stop loss level here, liquidity level here. So I mean that, if price really came back down, okay, come back down and test it and rebound higher, I'm not surprised. So do be aware. Okay, of course, if also a chance that price can continue to go higher. Okay, of course, I don't know what the market will do, but I think, okay, based on my experience, there's a potential chance that price could test the low over here. For the Nasdaq, okay, also somewhere pretty low over here. You can see that this was the swing low in the October level over here. Okay, right. So there's also a chance that price could test the level over here, okay, and then swing back up again. So we shall see how it goes. Okay, but the surprising fact is that Bitcoin, which I mentioned, I think during last event, said, hey, I'm pretty bullish. Continue to hit higher. Okay, I still think that there could be some upside to go for Bitcoin. Okay, I mean that this is a Bitcoin. I think there's a very good chance that we could test this level over here, this swing high over here. So if you're talking about the extremely swing high over here, okay, it is somewhere about 31.75K or 31.8K. I think that there's a good chance that price could test somewhere around here. But of course, I mentioned, right, Bitcoin and the stock market, it nowadays it diverges. Now it's not closely correlated, but somehow I still feel that the crypto is a sign of a risk on market, okay, for the equities eventually. But as of now, the sentiment right now, it is not really bullish right now. Okay, based on my experience in the Twitter, sentiment is really, really bad. Okay, but okay, as a repeat, I'm still harboring the fact that the market could still rebound, okay, towards the end of October and at the start of November. And as I mentioned, right, the stocks that we have been picking for the past 2 or 3 weeks or so are still holding on pretty well. And like, for example, like Copart and the TTC are last, like the one that I mentioned, TTC, okay, yeah, even though it came down for the past 3 days, but I mentioned in my previous video, right, there's a chance that hit the central pivot range, okay, and I mean that I took profit at the CPR, okay, all right, and then came back down. So I mean that if it comes down, it doesn't matter to me because price has came down, but I take profit at the central pivot range already. Okay, so let's move forward to this coming week. Okay, already 15 minutes already. So let's move forward to the coming week. This coming week is actually from the 22nd to 29 over here. Let's focus back on the ETF. Since the market is not doing very well, let's focus on the broad picture first. Okay, so 22nd to 29. We try not to pick individual stocks. Okay, so 22nd to 29. 22nd to 29. Let me confirm again. Yes, 22nd to 29. Okay, 22nd to 29. 22nd to 29, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and okay. All right, so all in all, there's still quite a number out of 52 ETF to choose from. Can you see that, out of this ETF, right? Okay, can you see that semicon, okay, and then semicon, semicon, okay, semicon, okay, and then semicon. So the one that I mentioned, one of the trade ideas that I mentioned during the Summit Booster is also the semicon semicon ETF from the 23rd of October to the 7th of November, a short window period, okay, a short window period, only 16 calendar days. But okay, for the past 13 years, 92% of the time it is up, which means that of the past 13 years, okay, 12 years, it ended higher from 23rd October to 7th November. So the one that I'm looking at, okay, is the semicon industry. Okay, it is also like very in the tech sector as well. Okay, if the market is going to rebound, okay, does tech sector need a big boost as well? Okay, so I'm looking at the SMH. SMH reason is because it's one of the biggest ETF for the semicon. So this is SMH over here. So let's take a look at SMH over here. So we still need to wait for the price action before we pull any trigger. Okay, market is down, semicon is also down for the past 1 week or so. You cannot just anyhow enter based on the time frame. Okay, cannot anyhow enter based on the time frame. We still need to wait for the price action. This is SMH over here. So SMH, okay, all in all, you can see that has been ping pong after a strong move upward, okay, kind of ping pong over here, okay, a big consolidating a big range over here. Again, I was expecting like price, to hit above the CPR and then come back down as a support and go back up, but it didn't. And but you guys can also see that the cloud is also acting as a resistance level over here. So let's say, for example, I didn't enter. Let's say, for example, you somehow pick the low over here. Okay, of course, when price hit the cloud levels resistance, you should consider to take some profit off the table also. Okay, this is of course based on in hindsight, but the cloud can also act as a resistance level over here. So all in all, price has been very bearish. So where is the wash lines? So can you see that this was the closing price? The closing price closed lower than the prior day low. So the wash line level, it is at 143.88. Okay, 143.88 over here. Okay, so this is the wash line over here, 143.88 over here. So let's watch, see if the market can, reverse back higher, all right, and stay above 143.88 this coming week. Okay, if it can, close higher than 143.88, then I'll be inclined to go long, okay, in the semicon ETF. Can? So SMHR, the semicon I'm watching, but if price cannot close above 143.88, okay, then I will not go long. But of course, price I mean that the wash line can go lower and lower. Let's say, for example, okay, within this week also price again close lower and lower. Then of course the wash line will change out. Then it will shift lower. So we watch the price action because I don't know how the week will turn out. So as a repeat now, okay, tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, the price can still continue to go lower. If price, go lower, price close lower than the prior day low, then you have to, readjust the wash and rinse line. Can, but as of now, the wash line, it is 143.88. Okay, so the price can stay higher than, it's 143.88. Yeah, 143.88 over here. Okay, so I'm watching the semicon ETF over here. Okay, and then let's see, based on the ETF, what else do we have over here? Can you see that also a lot, some of these are the technology sector. As I mentioned, right, if the market really do need to rebound, the technology sector, okay, really need to go up. And of course, XLK can take a look at the IAT regional bank, which is under the financial sector, KRE financial sector over here, IYG financial sector. Okay, all right, is there XLF or not? XLF, it is not here, but the IYG, it is a proxy for the financial sector over here. Okay, IYG. So this is IYG. Okay, this is the financial sector. XLF is as a proxy, almost the same financial sector over here. Okay, so once again, you can plot the wash and rinse pattern over here. Okay, so this is the financial sector. You can take a look from the 23rd to 8th November. So also somewhere pretty near to the semicon. Okay, the regional banking from 23rd to 29th of November. This is the 38 calendar days. Okay, and then what else? The XLP, I'm still holding, right? It's good to see that 25th of October to until the start of December. So I'm still holding on to XLP and such. All right. And then the rest, I'm not so keen to look at it right now. Biotechnology, okay, something interesting. Can take a look. IBB, it is over here. Let's take a look at IBB. It was also very bearish. Okay, all in all, the market is still very bearish. We need to see whether the market can have a turn. For IBB, right, 26, right, again, this is the low over here. Price close lower than a prior low. So the IBB, the low, it is actually 117.34. 117.34 over here. Right, let's see if the market can turn higher this week. Okay, so we follow the price action. All in all, I'm not looking at individual stocks. I'm just keep my trading simple, look at the broad sectors, okay, the industry to trade. I think at least this is easier for me. Of course, if you really want, okay, you can look at some of the individual stocks, okay, like for example, individual stocks, right? This is 22nd to 29th. Okay, individual stocks, 22nd. Okay, to 29 over here. Okay, so all these sector wise, okay, can see there's still healthcare, there's still technology, there's still consumer goods, all the XLP, XLF over here. You can take a look at some of the individual stocks, keep that in your watch list. But there's still a lot. But that's why I say I prefer to trade the ETF, keep things simple over here. So energy, I'm not so keen. Okay, so you can look at the biotech, the stocks. Okay, you can take a look at the XLP. Okay, you can take a look at the XLK, regional bank. IYG is the XLF over here, and the semicon. So the few sectors that I'm looking at. Okay, and there's one thing that I want to look at. I saw interesting. Yeah, this is the water resources. I have traded a few times before. Okay, PHO water resources, 25th to 29th of November. Let's take a look at further. Okay, PHO. Also, it's not looking too good, but again, we just follow the price action. Okay, it's coming down again. The wash line is somewhere around here, lah. So all in all, there is a lot of wash and rinse pattern, potential setup over here. So let's see the market can do a recovery this week or so, and then I'll be looking to go long, okay, in the ETF, the sectors that I mentioned in the ETF list over here. Okay, Ken, I think that's all for today's session. Also about half an hour already, 25 minutes. Okay, so let me know if you have any question. Okay, put in the comments and such, okay, in this unlisted video. So have a safe trading week ahead, and I'll see you guys again. Bye bye.